Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we explore the story that spark conversation and challenging perspectives. In today's video, we are talking about a disturbing incident that unfolded at Los Angeles International Airport. A woman caught on camera during a shocking racist rant that has since gone viral. The video has caused debates about accountability, racism in public spaces, and how we as a society respond to hate. But beyond the video itself, the reactions from witnesses, families, and people online are what truly paint a bigger picture of where we stand as community. Let's break it all down and explore how this moment became a flashpoint for reflection and outrage.
My blood is boiling right now. I honestly can't even believe something like this is a real thing. We were just in this altercation with this lady who was giving us a really hard time, telling the kids, my kids, to shut up. And I lost it and said, you don't have a right to talk to my kids like that. And then the rest of this is what she said.
Great.
I'm a prick.
Your family is from India. You have no respect. You have no rules. You think you can push everyone? Push. That's what you think you are. You guys are fucking crazy.
Indian people are crazy. You told me to have some more curry, right?
Yeah, here.
Have some more curry?
To record your fucking tandoori
Please
ass.
do. My tandoori ass, wow.
Yeah, your tandoori sticky ass.
Wow.
Yeah. Want some more?
Please, by all means.
Some more?
Sweetheart, I'm about to... No, you can remove her, though, for being rude and racist right now. Can you do that, or no?
It doesn't care about racist. You're racist towards me. I'm American.
So are we.
You're not American.
No? Not American?
Not originally, no. You're from fucking India.
I was born in America.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I
saw
was.
Your passport.
Yeah, you want to see my passport? Is that I gotta make you happy?
Shut up! Here, let's just go like this.
Amazing. I thought I only saw this stuff on the internet, but no. Karen's right here.
Thank you.
This is toxic, massively toxic. Tell my kids to shut up. You got a mouth on you, sweetheart. Drink some more, sweetheart.
Please take her off the bus.
Get off the bus.
Shut up.
Yeah, get off the bus, racist.
It's not right for them to say that to me.
Hey, ma'am, she's out of line.
Okay.
She's drunk, and we need her off the bus. We need her off the bus. You need to get off the bus.
No, you need to get off the bus.
Thankfully, the right people are here, standing like up for us. Thank God for that. Here we go. Here we go.
Shut up. I'm not gonna I want to show you. Okay, so these guys, they're taking through.
Listen, she's been on the bus, busting and screaming. She started calling racist slurs to this nice family. Didn't do anything. She doesn't need to be on this bus. She needs to go on the other bus. She's making me uncomfortable. It's really uncomfortable for my family, and there's small children here. She's cussing and swearing at small children. I would love her blood alcohol level taken. She's out of control. I don't want.
Quick update. The police are looking to arrest her. She was incredibly abusive. Her husband got in my face and all this nonsense. But United handled this like a champ, and basically is going to put her on a no-fly list. So
I'm guessing she isn't from that area, but it doesn't matter because the internet is one big small town. So share this around, and someone, please, for the love of God, tell me who she is. So yes, she has been found. Savannah, our exorcist, certainly found her and dug up a ton of stuff on her. A bunch of other people messaged me stuff on her. There's a lot to go over, so let's just jump into it, shall we? First, the photographer that she did this to, that recorded all of that, I like the way that he announced who she was on his Instagram story, so I'm just going to show you that real quick. OAI, you're awful. powerful, but also sometimes, but her name is Arlene Bunch. She's a real estate broker from Mammoth Lakes, California. Recently, Fox 11 did an interview with her where she gave her side of the story, and they promise to keep her identity secret, except that they left Arlene's iPhone on the video feed. So we appreciate the confirmation. But in that, she gave her side of the story and what she says happened.
Arlene is now claiming that a well-known photographer
pushed me to the side to get in front of me, and the lady made him go back to the end of the line. And he's talking to his wife. Yeah, supposedly they're first class, obviously with no class. And look at the way they're dressed. They're white trash. Aggressive. When we loaded the shuttle, he looks over to me and says, "Shut your big effing mouth, you white trash."
Now, as Savannah continues to point out, one, the claims that she's making about the things that he said conveniently don't show up on video anywhere. But more importantly, there were witnesses, and none of those witnesses stated that happened. They all had a problem with her and her behavior. And these were just random strangers on that shuttle who were just seeing it unfold. But if he was just being awful and that's the reason you did what you did, you wouldn't have to explain yourself further. But then she goes on to continue excusing her behavior by claiming she has a traumatic brain injury, and that's the only reason she says that. I've never known someone who has a traumatic brain injury to just be racist from it. But there is some validity to the claim that she probably has a traumatic brain injury.
I see you updated your profile photo 15 hours ago. I guess trying to run from accountability faster than that house that exploded last year with you inside it. Crazy timing, don't you think? But you should have also asked your sister to take down that GoFundMe she made for you last year.
That's right. She was in a house that blew up last year. I believe it was like a gas leak situation. She is, quite frankly, lucky to be alive. And as you can see on her GoFundMe trying to raise money after that, she says she's striving to fully recover from a TBI. Only here's the thing. This GoFundMe that this comes from is not this GoFundMe. This is the one her sister set up. Only Arlene separately set up this one. See? Arlene Bunch. And in it, she talks about how her and her son are homeless. And I would expect that they would be if your house blew up. The thing is, while this was created back around the time that it happened, I found that link because she had posted it to her personal Twitter page. And she posted it on 10/7/24. So a little over a month before the incident happened that we see on video. That's how we all got to meet Arlene. In that video, she's claiming that they were mad at her and her husband for flying first class. I don't feel like you're homeless anymore if you're flying first class. I've never been homeless myself. I've come close sometimes. I know during those desperate times, I wasn't traveling anywhere, let alone traveling first class. So why, in October, were you still posting and trying to get money? In fact, her Twitter only has one other thing. It's a post about people being racist toward white people, and that's trying to paint Elon Musk as like some cool guy. And she responded to that and said, "White, I'm so sorry. I'm white, Scottish, and Mexican." Oh yeah, by the way, she's also Mexican. The woman who told the Indian people to go home. I've been told that her middle name is Consuela. Wait a minute. A Mexican woman yelling at people of Indian descent, telling them to go back to their country. Where have I seen that before?
Go back to India. Why? We don't want you here. We don't want you here.
Oh, that's right. Plano, Texas, back in 2022, when Esmeralda Upton was arrested and charged with a hate crime after going on a racist rant and an assault caught on video where she was yelling at some women that she heard having an Indian accent to go back to their country. Also, as part of that, she had threatened to pew-pew them and kept reaching in her bag. And it's worth noting that Esmeralda was ultimately found guilty of assault and making terroristic threats. So, based on everything we've seen out of her and the conversations I've had with people who claim to know her, I don't think we're going to see Arlene kind of stepping up and owning it and apologizing in a real way anytime soon. But at the very least, people can know exactly who and what she is.
Arlene Bunch, who went viral for calling an Indian American family, is back with Fox 11 News in Los Angeles with excuses as weak as her house. Arlene is now claiming that a well-known photographer
Pushed me to the side to get in front of me, and the lady made him go back to the end of the line. And he's talking to his wife. Yeah, supposedly they're first class, obviously with no class. And look at the way they're dressed. They're white trash. aggressive when we loaded the shuttle. He looks over to me and says, "Shut your big effing mouth, you white trash." And then my husband stood up. None of this is in the video.
Conveniently, none of this magical footage exists, and the one witness on the original video who stood up for the family never mentioned that. Arlene's explanation is that she suffered a TBI from the home explosion last year, and that's what made her do it. Now, I'm not a neurologist, but I'm 100% certain that a traumatic brain injury doesn't make you racist. She maintains she's the victim, but when I commented that I found her, she mockingly replies, "Okay, I'm so scared," and then she deleted her Facebook. Meanwhile, she declined to be named for safety on the news, but outed herself to me. And the best part, during her FaceTime interview with the news, her iPhone name is Arlene's iPhone. Whether or not that was intentionally left in the broadcast, I don't know, but thanks all the same.
Found her. Got her.
This whole started because this lady right here started making racist comments towards the son of the man that's recording. Then when the dad intervened, she did all this and more. The audacity that she has to say that people from India don't have respect while she's doing all this. And also, what does an American person look like? Because she's so stuck in her bubble that she thinks that people like her are the default American. Primero que todo, América es el continente. And her attitude, honestly, is not very American to me. I stand in solidarity with our primos from India. Brown folks gotta have each other's back. Pero familia, what do y'all think about this? I'm just glad that they kicked her out of that bus. And I hope this gets attention because her behavior is unacceptable to say the least.
I have an update on Arlene Bunch, the racist woman who was going off at a family in a United shuttle bus at LAX. We're going to hear Pervez, the victim's reaction to this whole thing. But first, I want to tell you that when Arlene Bunch went on TV, went on Fox News, and said that all this was due to a brain injury, she never followed that with an apology. She didn't say, "I'm sorry. This happened because I was not in control of my behavior, of my words, of my actions, so I apologize for what I did." That's not what she did at all. She said, "I can't be blamed for it because I have a brain injury due to an explosion that left me looking like Deadpool, promising that I was going to turn my life around and be nice to everybody, but no. And then going on to make up that lie that you could see her making up on the spot as she speaks, which is a very common tactic that we've seen literally happen in every video I cover. They always lie like this, always, and it's always never on camera, and no witnesses saw it, and the story is different every time they tell it. So honestly, I'm not interested in dissecting it. We'll leave it at that. She's not sorry. It wasn't because of a brain injury. Now let's hear what the victim Pervez has to say.
Hey guys, I am sorry for not having been able to update everybody, but I want to take a moment while I'm here in Istanbul to be able to tell everybody what's going on. So for the last couple of days, it's been a whirlwind, obviously, of overwhelming support, and we are so grateful to so many of you that have reached out and offered your support and told us that if you were on that bus, you would have said something. That means the world to us, and we're really grateful for that. And then also I want to tell you that the person who went on this racial tirade, her family and friends actually came forward to us and were able to give us her name and a lot of information about her. So the person is, I'm sure everybody knows now, but Arlene Consuela Bunch. Pretty ironic to have someone who is of Mexican descent be throwing rocks while she lives in a big, huge glass house. And to me, that's an incredibly myopic way to look at things, and it's very sad as well. At this point, we are going to be pressing charges. That is our intent. I definitively am still upset about what happened. Our kids are okay. My wife and I, continue to explain to them that, this love and support that we're getting is because, and the reality of things is that, generally the world is a better place than this. And we feel very much so that this is a one-off. My wife and I have mentioned in multiple interviews, but we've never experienced this kind of racism before, and I know that, and I'm confident that this is a rarity. So lots of love to all of you guys, and thank you again for all your support. Really appreciate it, and thank you to Danesh and to Tizzy and Savannah as well. All of you guys have helped to make this person hopefully give her pause, at least for a second. I know there's a story going around about her brain injury, and a lot of people have said it. I don't think brain injuries make you racist. I think accountability is key, and I would have thought by now, Arlene, and I'm speaking directly to you, I would have thought by now that you would have realized that it's not the way to behave, and making up stories about something I never even did is so ludicrous and just appalled, honestly. I thought you would have had a moment to pause and really think this through, but you haven't, so here we go. Talk to you soon.
Incidents like the one at Lax are a stark reminder of the work that still needs to be done to combat racism in our society. Seeing a person in such a public space resort to hateful and offensive remarks is not only disappointing but also deeply troubling. It raises questions about how racism continues to manifest in everyday situations, even in an era where awareness and accountability are supposed to be at the forefront. First, let's talk about the incident itself. Reports suggest that this started as a minor disagreement between the woman and another passenger, but it escalated quickly into something much more harmful. Witnesses described the scene as chaotic and unsettling, with some passengers visibly upset and others intervening to try to calm things down. What makes this even more impactful is that it happened in a public, multicultural space like an airport, a place that symbolizes movement, connection, and diversity. Airports bring together people from all over the world, yet here we are witnessing an outburst that seeks to divide. Now, let's shift to the reactions. The public outrage has been swift and vocal. Social media is flooded with condemnation of her behavior. Many have called for airlines to ban her from flying, while others argue for mandatory education and sensitive training to address the root cause of such outbursts. This raises an important question: what is the right way to hold someone accountable for actions like this? Body shaming, while effective in drawing attention to the issue, can sometimes backfire, leading to further polarization rather than productive conversation. On the flip side, some people have questioned whether we are becoming too reactionary as a society. They argue that the focus should be on education and rehabilitation rather than punishment. While I agree that education is essential, we cannot overlook the harm caused to those directly targeted by her remarks. Families who witnessed the incident, especially those with young children, have spoken about how hurtful and traumatic it was to see such blatant hate in a space meant to be safe for everyone. Children in particular should never have to experience or witness racism, and it's up to adults to model respectful behavior in public. So, where do we go from here? First, we need to ensure accountability. This woman's action should not be ignored, but we also need to approach this situation as an opportunity for growth. Public apologies and sensitive training, if done sincerely, can help repair some of the damage. More importantly, this incident should prompt us to have deeper conversations about racism and inclusivity, both at an individual and systemic level. Second, we must continue to support those who stand up against hate. Witnesses who intervened, families who spoke out, and people online who called attention to this behavior are all part of the solution. By confronting racism whenever and wherever it occurs, we send a message that such behavior is unacceptable and will not be tolerated. Lastly, we need to focus on education. Teaching children and adults alike about the value of diversity, empathy, and respect is key to preventing incidents like this from happening in the future. Schools, workplaces, and public institutions all have a role to play in fostering an environment where everyone feels safe and valued. To wrap up, the last incident is a painful reminder of the challenges we face as a society. It's easy to feel disheartened by moments like this, but they are also provide an opportunity for reflection and change. We have to ask ourselves, What kind of world do we want to live in, and what are we doing to create it? The reactions to this incident, both from the people who witnessed it and those online, shows that there is a collective will to stand against hate. Now, it's about turning that will into meaningful action. I'm trying to process this sheer audacity and ignorance displayed by this woman and her racist rant. It's disturbing to see someone so openly express hatred and intolerance toward others based on their skin color. What's even more alarming is the sense of entitlement and privilege that urges from her every word. She seems to genuinely believe that she is superior to others simply because her race. It's a toxic mindset that's been perpetuated for far too long, and it's time we call it out for what it is: racism. I'm also stung by the hypocrisy of her argument. She claims to be a Christian, yet her words are filled with hate and intolerance. Doesn't she realize that her actions are direct contradiction to the teachings of love and compassion that her faith preaches? Furthermore, it's essential to acknowledge the harm that her words can cause. Racism is not just a matter of personal opinion, it's a systemic issue that perpetuates inequality and injustice. Her rant may have been caught on camera, but the impact of her words will be felt far beyond that moment. As a society, we need to do better. We need to call out racism whenever we see it, and we need to educate ourselves and others about the harm it causes. We need to promote empathy, understanding, and inclusivity in our communities. When the video went viral, it didn't take long for people to express their anger and disappointment. Social media platform became a hub for condemning the woman's behavior, with many calling for her to face several consequences. The responses ranged from demands for her to be banned from flying to broader calls for systemic accountability to prevent similar incidents in the future. The collective response shows that the public is no longer willing to tolerate overt displays of hate, especially in spaces meant to be inclusive and welcoming. However, the story took another turn when the woman at the center of the controversy spoke out. In her statement, she claimed she was under immense stress, which allegedly led her to outbursts. While stress can undoubtedly make people act irrationally, it's crucial to note that it doesn't create racism, it exposes it. Stress might amplify someone's emotions, but the words spoken reflect deeply ingrained belief. Her statement, which lacked a direct apology to the people she targeted, has been met with skepticism. Many feel is a deflection rather than a genuine acknowledgement of the harm caused. The incident has also raised important questions about how communities should respond to a situation like this. Public shaming, as seen through the viral nature of the video, can serve as a deterrent and bring immediate attention to the issue. However, it's a double-edged sword. While it holds people accountable, it can also lead to excessive harassment and distress from addressing the root causes of such behavior. The goal shouldn't just be punishment, but also education and rehabilitation. The reactions of the bystanders at airport also deserves attention. Witnesses have shared how the incident made them feel angry, uncomfortable, and even fearful. Families with young children express concern about the impact of such behavior on their kids. For parents, it becomes a moment to discuss racism and teach their children about respect and inclusion. But it's also a stark reminder that public space should be safe for everyone, free from hate and discrimination. Another layer to this conversation is the broader societal context. Racism isn't just about isolated incidents like this one, it's a systemic issue. While overacts of hate grab headlines, substitutes and systemic forms of racism persist in everyday life. Incidents like the one at last are symptoms of a such larger problem that requires continuous education, dialogue, and policy change to address. The role of institutions like the airport and the airline is also worth examining. Should there be restricted policy to address hateful behavior in public spaces? Could airlines enforce bans or mandatory training for passengers who engage in such conduct? This question highlights the need for systemic measures that go beyond individual accountability. It's also important to recognize the emotional toll incidents like this take on marginalized communities. For those who experience racism regularly, seeing such blasted hate can be re-traumatizing. It reinforces the reality that despite progress, there is still a long way to go. The reactions from the public and the victims of the rant reminds us that moments like this are not just about one person's behavior but also the ongoing fight about racism as a whole. This incident, while distressing, offers an opportunity for reflection. How do we as individuals and as a society address racism? How do we ensure that public spaces are inclusive and respectful? And most importantly, how do we educate future generations to be better? These are difficult but necessary questions that arise from moments like this. To the woman in the video, I want to say this: your words are not acceptable and your behavior is not justified. But I also want to encourage you to take this as an opportunity to learn and grow. Educate yourself about the experiences of others and try to understand the harm that your words can cause. Let's use this incident as a catalyst for change. Let's work toward creating a society that values equality, justice, and compassion for all. In conclusion, the viral racist rant at large and this woman's subsequent statement have caused a much needed conversation about accountability, empathy, and societal progress. While the immediate reaction of outrage and condemnation are valid, the focus must also be on a long-term solution. Education, systemic accountability, and open dialogue are key to preventing such incidents in the future. It's a reminder that the fight against racism is ongoing and requires collective effort from all of us. Thank you for watching, and let's continue this conversation in the comments below. What do you think is the best way to handle situations like this? How can we create a society that is more inclusive and respectful? Let's talk about it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more global news and reactions. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.